storage, importance of storage entomology. We discussed a little bit about the history of storage entomology, especially in our country. Then we discussed about the factors affecting insect infestation in storage. So those were the parts which we covered yesterday. And today we will see what are the different kinds of loss caused by insect infestation in storage. It causes different kinds of loss such as quantitative loss, qualitative loss, etc. We will see that. Then next we will see the sources of insect infestation. That means from where insects can gain entry into stored grains. That is sources of insect infestation and storage. And the third part we will see the types of insect infestation. So these three topics we will cover it today. So I'll share my presentation. So presentation is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
So the I told you we first will cover the different types of loss caused by insects in storage, and the different types of losses include the quantitative loss. The quantitative loss is nothing but can be called as weight loss because insects feed a great amount of grains, and the grains will be converted into hollow. It will be there will be nothing much remaining inside that grain, so there will be huge weight loss, that is quantitative loss. Then qualitative loss is again divided into 3 to 4 categories because insect infestation leads to reduction in quality of the food grains. So that is qualitative loss. And the third is, especially with respect to seed technology students, insect infestation leads to reduction in seed germination and seed viability. So that is the affecting the seed quality parameters. That is the third kind of loss. And the fourth kind of loss is some insects as well as rodents has the ability to damage storage containers. So that is the fourth kind of loss. So the first one is quantitative loss. Second one is qualitative loss. Third is the affecting the seed quality, and the last one is damage to storage containers. Coming to the first one, that is quantitative loss. See this picture. This is a picture of an insect called rice weevil, Cytophilus oryzae. If you see the picture, you can see the insects has fed the entire grain, and the grain is converted into a hollow shell like kind of structure. Nothing is remaining inside the grain. The entire kernel is fed by the insects. So that means there will be a loss of weight of the grain because of the insect infestation. So that is very much straightforward. There is nothing much to discuss about it. And if you see the different estimate of weight loss by insects and different kinds of grain, in weight it is roughly estimated as 3% rice, it is 2, pulses it is 5, and the average loss is about 2.55 percentage, and the different estimates vary from zero point 0.03 to 9.84. Similar to the earlier, yesterday's class also we discussed about the loss caused by insects. Here also the loss varies widely. The weight loss also varies widely from 0.03 to 9.84 percentage. But anyway, at least 2 to 3 percentage of weight is lost by insect infestation. Pulses, the value is a bit high because pulses uh, affect is affected by pulse beetle Callosobropus. It is a primary pest of stored pulses, and it will lead to huge weight loss. So that's why the loss is a bit high in pulses. Coming to the second type of loss, that is qualitative loss. In qualitative loss, again it is categorized into four. The first kind of qualitative loss is the loss in the nutritive and calorific value of the grains. As the insect feed on the grain, especially whenever an insect starts infesting a grain, it first feed on the endosperm, which is the most rich portion of the grain, nutritively rich portion of the grain. So as the insect feed on the endosperm portion, the nutritive value of the grain losses very drastically. So the loss in nutritive value or calorific value, and there will be certain chemical changes in the grain content. We will discuss what all the changes insect infestation leads to changes in the carbohydrate content, protein content, especially there will be a reduction in carbohydrate content, protein content, etc. Then there will be increase in the amino acid content, sugar content. There will be decrease that will affect the vitamin content. So there are a lot of chemical changes occurs because of the insect activity. So that is the second qualitative loss. And the third loss that is very easily evident in an infested grain lot. The grain will be contaminated with pathogenic or toxicogenic microbes. Because, say, rodents, a typical example is rodent. If a rodent infests a grain, that grain will be contaminated with microbes because rodents move over all the filthy areas. You might have seen in railway stations and all the rodents moving around the filthy railway tracks, and in the nights you can see them moving around the platform, moving around the food vendor carts near the railway platforms and all. So all those things, the food particles have every chance of getting contaminated with pathogenic or toxicogenic microbes. And another qualitative loss is insect infestation leads to increase in moisture content. That we will discuss tomorrow, how that thing happens. There is a concept called a sport and all that we'll discuss tomorrow. So one by one, we will take how the nutritive and calorific value is affected due to insect infestation. I told you insect feeds on the kernel and especially the germ portion, the endosperm portion. It leads to loss of weight as well as calorific value. Anyway, if the grain is fed by the insects, there is nothing nutritively rich particles remaining inside the grain. All those nutritive parts will be fed by the insect. So what is remaining in that grain? Nothing. So there will be huge loss of nutritive value, huge loss of calorific value, and another thing is it will affect the marketability. Whenever you go to a supermarket or any other shop for purchase of any grain, you will check the packet first. And if you see any infested grain lot, you will avoid that packet. So it affects the marketability. So no one will purchase an insect infested grain. So it reduces the marketability, it reduces the nutritive value of the grain. And the second is effect on the chemical content of the grain. I told you insect infestation can lead to changes in the carbohydrate content of the grain, protein content of the grain, fat content, and vitamin content of the grain. So the insect infestation can affect all this carbohydrate, protein, fat, and vitamin content. And let's see how each will be affected. Say in the case of carbohydrate, what will happen is that insect infestation leads to the conversion of starch into simple sugars. Starch is a polysaccharide, as you all know. It will be converted into simple sugars. So what will happen? There will be a reduction in the content of starch, whereas there will be an increase in the content of total soluble sugars because of the increase in the conversion of starch to monosaccharides. So that is one thing. Carbohydrates, that is polysaccharides such as starch, will get converted into monosaccharides, into simple sugars. Second will be with respect to protein, what will happen is that Protein again, just like carbohydrates, it will degrade into simple amino acids. So there will be a decrease in the protein content and there will be a corresponding increase in the content of amino acid. So carbohydrate content will increase, protein content will decrease, and correspondingly the content of simple sugars and amino acids will increase. And another thing is that phenolic content, because of the insect activity, the phenolic content in the grain, phenols are not that easily digestible kind of materials. So phenolic content starts increasing. Similar to carbohydrates and proteins, again, the fat will get degraded, fat content of the grains will get degraded, and there will be an increase in the level of free fatty acids. So in the case of oil seeds and all, there can be a chance of rancidity, development of rancidity in the content. So free fatty acid level may increase, and there can be an increase in uric acid. Entomology students can answer how the uric acid content can increase in stored grains.
Excretion.
Yes, because the insect excretory product is uric acid. So because of the activity of the insects, there will be an increase in the content of uric acid, and there will be a reduction on vitamins such as thiamine as well as niacin. So with respect to chemical changes, one thing is that carbohydrate and protein content will decrease, and there will be an increase in the content of sugars and amino acids. There will be an increase in phenolic content. There will be an increase in the free fatty acid content. Because of the excretion of insects, there will be an increase in uric acid content, and there will be a reduction in vitamins such as thiamine and niacin. These are the changes which we normally observe with respect to the chemical content of the grain. So we had discussed qualitative loss, quantitative loss as well as qualitative loss. Next, we will see how insect infestation affects the grains and how contamination can occur in the grain. Presence of insects is detrimental to all, because if you see an insect in any food product, even if a fresh product or a cooked product, immediately you will avoid those kind of food material. So it will lead to the loss of palatability, because if you see a body part of an insect, say if you are purchasing something, and if you see an insect body part, it can be scales of the insects, it can be wings of the insects, legs of the insect, even dead bodies of the insects. And some cases you can see excreta. Say in case of rodents, and you can see excreta, especially if you visit certain cordons, you can see a lot of rodent excreta in the cordon. So all this will affect the palatability of the grain. If you purchase any food material, if you see any insect body part inside that food, you will immediately discard it. So it affects the palatability of the food. Second is, it can lead to a bad odor in the food grain. This is typically there with a few insects such as tribolium. Have you seen a tribolium infested flow? You might seen atta, maida, rava, etc. infested with a small reddish insect. It is tribolium. Have you seen it? Anyone? No. If tribolium infestation is there, what will happen is that the color of the flour, atta, maida, and all, rice flour and all, it is pure white in color. So, with the increase in infestation of the tribolium, the color of the flour changes from white to yellow, and there will be very off odor to that flour. Usually, you might have observed sometimes your mother and all, if you they open the bottle of any grain flour and all, they will open it and smell it just to check whether the quality is intact and all. If there is an insect infestation, it will lead to a bad odor from the stored grain or stored flour or any food material. So that is one kind of contamination. It will lead to the production of bad odor from stored grain. It will affect the palatability, and in some cases, for some persons, not for all, the insects can cause allergic reactions in certain persons, especially the scales of the insects. If there is a Lepidopteran insect infestation in a grain, the scales can cause allergic reactions to certain persons. It's not extremely common, but outside our country, especially Western countries, or so many persons are allergic to many products. So some persons are allergic to scales of insects. So it can lead to insect body parts can cause allergic reactions, and as we discussed, it can affect. It can lead to food poisoning that we discussed with the case of rodents. So the contamination of grains, all this comes under the qualitative loss. First, we discussed about the quantitative loss. Second, we discussed about qualitative loss. In the qualitative loss, we have discussed about loss of calorific value. Then we discussed about chemical changes. Now we are discussing about the contamination of grains with toxicogenic or pathogenic microbes. So, in the contamination of grains, there can be loss of palatability because of the presence of insect body parts. Second, it can lead to production of a bad odor from the grain. And for some persons, the insect body parts can cause allergic reactions. And rodents and more certain insects also, but mostly it is rodent, can lead to food poisoning because of the contamination of grains with pathogenic microbes. And the fourth change in the quality of the grain is increase in the moisture content. We will see how the moisture content in the grain increases because of insect activity tomorrow. But just understand that there will be an increase in the moisture content of the grain, and it will lead to increase in fungal infection. As the moisture content increases, it will lead to increase in more and more increase in the insect activity, and associated with it, there will be an increase in the fungal infection. So qualitatively, the insect infestation can reduce the calorific value, can affect the chemical content of the grain, it can lead to contamination of the grain, and it can increase the moisture content of the grain. So we have completed quantitative loss, qualitative loss. See a picture of a rodent infestation. Now you can imagine how much the grains will be contaminated because of the presence of this much of rodents. And the third part, this is especially important to seed technology students. As I already told you, the insect starts first feeding from the germ portion. So if the germ portion of the grains are fed by the insects, it will reduce the germination of the grain. Even if the seed germinates, the seedlings will be weak and there will be a reduction in the vigor of the seedlings. So insect infestation can reduces germination, we can lead reduces the seedling vigor, and ultimately it leads to the formation of very weak seedlings. So the third kind of loss is loss of seed viability, and the fourth is damage to storage structures. As you all know, rodents can damage storage structures, whatever be the except concrete or steel structures, wooden, plastic, jute, whatever be the storage structure, rodents can damage. So that is one example. I am not citing that typical example, but there are certain insects which can also damage storage structures. A typical example is lesser grain borer Rhizobertha dominica. Rhizobertha dominica has the ability to damage wood containers as well as polyethylene polyethylene lined storage bags. So even if we keep it in certain kind of special containers, insects has the ability to bore into that storage structure. So it can lead to damage of that storage structure. So the first kind of loss quantitative, second it is qualitative, third affecting the seed quality, and fourth is the damage to storage containers, and all those things we have discussed. Any clarification you need in this part? It's pretty much straightforward. No. Okay. Coming to the next, what are the sources of insect infestation? Usually, when I ask this question in exams, people usually get confused. Sources of infestation. That means from which point the insect gains entry into the stored grain. You are storing a grain in a godown or in any storage structure. But insect can gain entry in the godown itself, or it can gain entry from several points during that value chain of the grain. So all these points are the sources of insect infestation. So you have to check all these points, and you have to you have to take corrective measures at these points to reduce the insect infestation in the forest. That's the importance. See, if you see the entire chain of a grain from field to storage go down, all this chain of events are potential sources of insect infestation. If you discuss it first, there are certain insects, storage insects, which can start infesting when the crop is in the field itself. Entomology students might know the example, which is the insect which infests both in the field as well as storage. I had given it in the slide, but still, that's a very yes, yes.
Potato tuber moth.
Potato tuber moth is there. Yes, pulse beetles are there. Then one more Cytophilus also usually can has the ability to start their infestation in the field itself. So what will happen? Pulse beetle will infest the grain when the grain is in the field. You harvest the grain. If you don't dry it properly, that infested grain will be stored, and the entire grain load will get destroyed. So infestation can start from the field itself. So the next step in the value chain is once you harvest it, you thresh it, say wheat, rice, etc. Nowadays, mechanized harvesters, combine harvesters are there. Still, these combine harvesters are also a source of insect infestation. I will give a small example. Uh, Once the harvest is over, say this is a seasonal activity, harvesting of rice, wheat, etc. The hopper wherein the grains are stored at the time of harvest, there are different kind of combine harvesters, but most of them have a storage container to store the grains temporarily at the time of harvest, and these grains will be pumped into the bags, or it can be collected loosely. You might have seen the pictures, and you might have seen it in person itself. But there will be some leftover grains in different parts of that combine harvester. So once the season is over, the harvester will be lying idle, and that leftover grains inside that combine harvester machine will act as a breeding site for this insect. And once in the next season, when the harvesting period starts, the insects easily gain entry into the fresh produce. So that is modern day. In earlier, we have threshing yards. Usually in government agencies and all, we have concreted threshing yards. Then there will be cracks and crevices in this threshing yard, concrete structures. And these cracks and crevices will harbor or hide the storage space. So once one season is over, the insect will go into these cracks and crevices, remain there. When the next season comes, it again starts infestation. So threshing yard. So from the field itself, at the time of harvest, if you are using a combined harvest, there is a chance of infestation. Manual harvesting, threshing yard is one option, and then drying yard. Once you thresh it, you will dry it. You will dry the grains. Again, if you see our KU, the seed processing plants and all, we have concrete drying yards. Again, there can be cracks and crevices in the drying yard. These cracks and crevices can harbor storage space. So, threshing yard, drying yard, then comes leftovers. Leftovers means, see, if you have some about 1 or 1.5 tons of grain, and if you have some, if you have filled it in about 10 or 15 or 20 jute bags, yes, you may have some amount, say 5 kg, 10 kg. It doesn't, it may not be, the quantity may not be sufficient to fill a full bag. So that small quantity will be left over. That leftover will act as a source of insect infestation. So leftovers are one, and then spill. Spill means spillage of grains. So in a godown, what normally, not only in godown, you might have seen how loading workers, especially the trade union people and all, load and unload this food grain. They use a hook for handling these bags. These with this kind of hooks, they will make a hole on the back, and through that hole, grains will be lost. There will be that will be spilled onto the railway wagons, into the lorries, into the godowns itself. And those spilled grains in the railway wagons, in the lorries, or in any transporting infrastructure or in the storage infrastructure, these grains spilled from the bags, damaged bags, will attract insect. That is another source of insect infestation, spilled grains. So leftovers, spilled grains. Then next is sweepings. See, we have employed a person to sweep the godown perfectly. So he swept the godown perfectly, and he collected all the sweepings from the godown, and he threw it just outside the godown. Every day he used to do it. So all the sweepings will be concentrating near the godown, and that sweepings will act as a source of multiplication of insects, and that insect can easily enter into the storage godown. So sweepings is another option of entry of food insects into grains. And the next is old gunny bags. You might have seen a gunny bag. It is a woven structure. So insects has can easily hide in those jute threads in a jute bag. So once a grain is stored in the jute bag, there is every chance of an insect hiding in that jute bag. If you are reusing that jute bag, the insect present in between the jute threads of a jute bag can gain entry into the freshly loaded grain or freshly stored grain in the jute bag. So as much as possible, we had to try to use fresh jute bags. Otherwise, if you are storing, if you're using a used jute bag, you have to disinfest it. We will discuss about disinfestation later when we discuss about the management of stored grain. And the last is the transportation. I told you in several points, the transportation infrastructure is a major source of insect infestation. In India, the grains are transported via carts, trucks, wagons, etc., and all of them are vulnerable to insect infestation. Yeah, you might have you ever seen grains being unloaded or loaded into railway wagons? Anyone? No? If you travel by trains, because I had seen lot of this, because I studied in College of Agriculture, Padanakat, and Padanakat, the nearest railway station is Nileshwar. Nileshwar railway station, one side of the railway station is in FCA godown. So trains will be coming, goods wagons will be coming and siding near that railway godown, and grains will be unloaded into it. And for about 7 years, I worked in Tavanur. The nearest railway station is Kuttipuram. Kuttipuram again, just close to railway station, we have an FCA godown. So all these cases, if you check, and another is I used to travel a lot from Alway railway station. In Alway railway station, if somebody has used Alway railway station, daily you can see one side of the platform. There is no go down, direct go down. The trucks come and park near the railway track, and the grains will be directly loaded into the trucks. So that is one practice because there is no FCA go down close to Alway railway station. So in all those cases, you can see one thing is that these loading and unloading workers will be using hooks. There will be spillage of grain. That spilled grains will be remaining in the wagon itself. That leads to the breeding of the insect in the wagon itself. In the next lot, again, grains will be stored in that same wagon itself, containing insect infestation. It's not only spilled grains. Even if we sweep the wagon perfectly before storing the next next lot of grains for transport, we swept it perfectly. But what happens is that there will be small cracks and crevices in that structure of the wagon. That cracks and crevices will again harbor insects. So if you see the entire value chain of a grain from field to storage, all these are potential sources of insect infestation, starting from the field, threshing yard, drying yard, any leftover grains, any spilled grains, sweepings of from godowns, old gunny bags, the transportation infrastructure, all of them are sources of insect infestation in a grain. So, if you want to have a thorough management of stored grain, we should identify the potential source of infestation, and we have to take corrective action at that sources itself. It's not a practical option to manage in the godown itself. Usually, what happens is that in a Food Corporation of India godown, all these potential sources are left unattended, and they are trying to manage only in the godown itself, inside the godown. But that may not work always because that can lead to heavy insect infestation because already what we receive in that godown is heavily infested grain. So once the grain is infested, it is pretty difficult to manage it. And coming to the last part of the grain, I think you might have studied this in the UG itself. What are the different kinds of insect infestation? We classify the insect infestation into four: horizontal infestation, vertical infestation, cross infestation, and latent infestation. This is pretty easy to understand. Horizontal infestation means that this is what we discussed just now in source of infestation. That means insects may get entry into the grain in the field or in the threshing yard or in the drying yard or in the transportation infrastructure, and that grain, already infested grain, will be stored in a storage godown. That is horizontal infestation. That means insects may gain entry, or the infestation might have started from the field, threshing yard, drying yard, transportation infrastructure, etc., and it will be carried over to the storage godown. That kind of infestation is called as horizontal infestation. The second kind of infestation is cross infestation. And a fresh set of grains, or we may imagine rice, a fresh lot of rice is arriving in an FCA godown, and we are storing that grain in the FCA godown. That godown already has a previous lot of grain, which was received about say 1 or 2 months back. but that previous lot of grain is infested with insects. And if you are storing the fresh lot of uninfested grains in the same godown, what will happen? Insects will start moving from the already infested old lot of grains into the fresh uninfested lot of grains. That kind of infestation is called as cross infestation, wherein the insects move from an already infested grain lot to an uninfested grain lot. And the third kind of infestation is latent infestation. Okay, just now we discussed that if you are storing a fresh uninfested grain lot in a godown containing a already infested grain lot, it can lead to cross infestation. So before storing of fresh commodity, the entire godown was cleaned, all the infested grain lot was removed. We have cleaned it perfectly. But what insects will do? Insects will remain hiding in the cracks and crevices in the godown. If you inspect any godown, you will see innumerable number of cracks and crevices. These are very minute insects. Usually the size of a storage insect is about zero point 0.3 to 0.5 mm. So it can easily hide in very small cracks and crevices. So these insects hiding in the cracks and crevices can eat. Just So these insects hiding in the cracks and crevices can infest the freshly stored grains. So that kind of infestation is called as latent infestation. And the last kind of infestation is vertical infestation. In vertical infestation, what will happen is usually you are say you are stacking about 1,000 bags of grains, say 1,000 bags of wheat grains we are storing in a godown, and among these 1,000 bags, one bag is infested. All the 999 bags are uninfested. So what will happen? Insects will start moving from the infested bag to all other bags in the stack. That is called as vertical infestation. I will repeat all the four. The first one is horizontal infestation. It can start from a field, threshing yard, drying yard, etc., and can carry over to the godown. Second is cross infestation, that is from an already infested produce to the uninfested produce. The third is latent infestation, wherein the insects will be hiding inside the cracks and crevices, and if you store a fresh commodity, it will start infesting the fresh commodity. And the last is vertical infestation. That means insects will move in the grain bulk. Say I told you, if you are storing about 1,000 bags, even if one bag is infested, the insect will move from that bag to all other bags in the grain stack. So that is vertical infestation, vertical movement of insects in the grain bulk. I am stopping it over here. Any doubts? Do you need any clarification? Okay, then again we will meet tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock at the same time. I will still two or three. I think Sri Lakshmi, have you joined?
Yes, sir.
In no, in Moodle.
No, no, sir.
Join in the Moodle. Then Ansila,
No, sir.
join in the Moodle. Others, I have added you in the Moodle. Then one more, I think one more person is remaining. Alan?
Sir,
Alan, you have been added, you have been added. Sushama is there. Tabshir,
No, sir.
join. Okay,
Okay.
okay, 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 fine. Thank you.